Hi, this is Steffi from Steffi's Beads and Baubles, and I've got a fun little ghost tutorial for you. I made this little guy about 20 years ago, and I cut out a lot of pieces so I can make plenty more. I love making this kind of thing, and this is felt, and to make him, you're going to need 2 pieces of felt cut into the shape of the ghost that you're going to make. This was a cookie cutter, obviously a very old cookie cutter since I cut him out over 20 years ago. But you don't have to use a cookie cutter. You can just draw out a little freehand ghost, any size. This one's fairly little, but you can go bigger. And you're going to need 2 pieces of felt in that shape. Then you're going to need your googly eyes to put on the ghost. You're going to need, make sure they're the same size because those weren't. You're going to need white paint, unless you decide you want to do something like silver or something else, but I choose to use white. And then if you want to add a little glitter, you can add a little glitter. Now, I did not use glitter back in the day. I just simply took the paint, dry brushed it on, and I did it very lightly. I didn't even put it that much on it. But since I'm going to do glitter, I'm going to put a little bit more paint on than I did the last time. Last time, if you can see, it was very sparse. And you can do that. Then I'll take the glitter and I'll put a little bit in my hand like this, and I'll sprinkle it over the damp paint, and it'll just, whatever sticks is what I'll have. And you can put it on as high, as thick or as light as you want. You can do a clear glitter, you could do a silver. This is a, let me see, I'll tell you exactly what it is. This was in a big package I got at Joann's, I believe. And it says white. And if you notice, it's got a little bit of silver in it as well. So once you're done that, you're going to glue your little Google eyes on. Now, personally, I would use a tacky glue for the eyeballs. I would not do them with a glue gun, just because you don't have as much control. And with the tip, it's going to come out clunky. So what I do is I take the glue and I take a toothpick like this, and this one has a little glue on one end. I reuse them. Then you take a little glue and you put it, now I would wait till this is dry to do it, but for tonight we're going to just do it while it's damp. But personally, if you're going to make a few of them, I'd cut them out and paint them one day, and then I would do the eyeballs the next day after they've had a chance to dry, just because it'll make it easier to work with it. Now, I like to use a craft glue because I think it dries better. It does dry clear, so if you, now that one I just popped on there upside down, but if you do get any glue on the outside, it will dry and you'll never see it. So once you get those eyeballs on, you can put them right next to each other, or you can put them far apart, whichever you prefer. Like I always tell you, there's no right or wrong. And then once it's done, you're going to glue, and I'm going to use this dry one that I did for you earlier today. You're going to glue them together. Now this I will use the glue gun for, but you can use the craft glue for this too. But you want to get it as close as you can get it, because you really want this to be a tight seam. So, and I'll show you why in a minute. So you're going to go around the whole edge of this piece of felt with the glue gun. And I'm going to go a little bit in the middle, and then you don't want to burn yourself, so you're going to kind of have to figure out how to hold it so you don't burn yourself. And then you're going to take and put the piece that you painted on top of there. That's why it has to be dry, because you've got to be able to handle it. Now what I'm going to do is squeeze it down real tight, and if a little glue comes out the sides, that's fine, because you're just going to take your scissors and you're going to fix that. So just be careful you don't burn yourself while you're doing this. Now, if you notice, no matter how hard you try, when you cut them out, there's going to be little bits that are not exactly the same. So this is when you can take your scissors, cut off the scraps of paint, or not paint, but glue, and even up the felt so that both sides match up really well. And that's what I did on all the ones I made. You can see right there it overlaps a little bit. You just trim it up, make it look nice. Now, once you have it trimmed up, you can glue your back on. Now, I personally like to open up the back. I'm going to use one that doesn't have glue on it. Here we go. And I do like to use the glue gun for this as well. And what I do is I put, you can see a little bit of the ink from when I stamped it on the back. I stamped these out 20 years ago. Today, I don't make quite that big of a mess. I was still learning when I did this. But you could cut that off. And if you notice on the back, I have a little more evening up to do. But I do go over the holes and make sure that glue gets in there really good. And that will keep your pin back on. Now, don't worry about all this. You can pull that off. You can cut it smooth once it all dries. But if you see right there, there's another little piece that I can trim off. You just get in there and you just trim it flat. And so that it all matches up nice. Now, why do I want to make sure it's so perfect? Because I'm going to take the paint. Whoop, I just stuck my finger. Don't do that. Stuck my finger in the glue. Once I get it all glued down, I'm going to take the paint and I'm going to seal the edges with the paint. Like this. Just to finish them off a little bit. Make it look a little better. And I'm going to go around the whole piece. Dry brush again like I did on the front. It just kind of seals it a little bit. And if you use the hot glue and get it all the way to the edge, it kind of seals it nice anyway. Because you have kind of a nice tight seal and the glue kind of makes a nice edge to paint over. So it really helps when you do the glue gun. But you're going to go around the whole thing like that. And when you're done, it'll look somewhat like this. Now, this one is old and I was still learning, so it wasn't as tight. If you notice, that's why I said you got to get really close to the edge. And on this one, I did. I got it real close to the edge. So when the paint dries on this one, it will look much better than the old one I did, because there will be no loose felt. So this one will look much better than the one, and I would hope so, because you know, I've learned a little bit since then. And you know, if you wanted to, you could actually even dip the edge into some glitter if you wanted, after you do the paint. So if you wanted to add a little more glitter to it, this would be the time to do it. I'm not going to right now because that would be a big mess I don't want to deal with, but you could very easily put glitter around the edge. But I like that. I like to see that little bit of paint around the edge. Now, if you don't like that step, you don't have to do it. If you like it to look like that, then you can just glue the two pieces together, cut them nice and tight, and leave it free like that. You don't have to have the paint edge. This one's a little better. But you don't have to do the painted edge if you don't want to. But when you get done, you have this cute little guy. And I just filmed another one for you that you'll probably see these ghosts in there, are these little bats. And I'm going to be uploading both of these projects for you tonight. I hope you enjoy them. They're a lot of fun. They're extremely easy to do. And you could do them for gifts. You could do them for your family. You could even do them to sell at a little craft fair. But take your time and do each step individually. I normally would not do all those steps in a row, because you see my hands, it gets everywhere. But I wanted to get it done for you tonight. So I kind of made a little mess there, but I think you get the idea of what you can do. And they're very cute. And I am hoping that you enjoy it. And I will be back with some more tutorials. I've got a long list of videos I'm going to be doing this next few days. I got behind this weekend. I was helping our daughter move, so I wasn't able to film any videos, so I do apologize for that. Anyway, here's a few of the ones I made back in the day. This is the new one, but these are some of the older ones I made. So I got behind, and I promise you I'm going to do better. And I do apologize for not getting anything uploaded for a week. But I have a lot of fun stuff planned for you. And I mean, I'm really excited about a lot of the things I've been doing. I just haven't gotten them all filmed. So I thank you again, and I'll be back very soon. And you have a great day. Bye.